Hi, I'm Ellen.
And I am Richard.
And we are
Venerable Voyagers.
Welcome aboard. Day 2. It's a sea day on our way to Key West. And it was actually, we started off the day bright and early because we had to be in class for most of the day. But we did start off at the Ocean View Cafe for breakfast. And you were smart enough to make good pictures of what you ate. So what did you eat?
I had that a made-to-order omelet station or egg station. You could get fried eggs or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just omelets.
Oh no, they were making fried eggs. They were making scrambled eggs.
Guess I'll have that tomorrow.
You could have 1 egg, 2 egg, 3 egg omelets. You could have just egg white omelets, like a keto type of deal.
What did yours have?
Mine had double cheese, which is the main ingredient in omelets. I don't know why anyone thinks that you're not supposed to have cheese in an omelet. But I asked for double because notoriously on cruise ships and a lot of restaurants, whatever, you have made-to-order station, they give you like a couple little things. So when you ask for extra, it's about what I figure it should be. I also had salmon and a little bit of onion, bacon, and some ham on this day. Had what did I have here?
That was
I had some. Oh, you know what? That was Asian. And
yeah.
It was the meat was I don't remember what kind it was.
It looks like chicken.
The sauce was good. The meat was dry, and I tried to have corned beef hash because I.
Oh, but wait a minute. What about this white stuff on the plate? What was that?
Well, when y'all have this Asian food, they typically have something called rice. I'm not usually the biggest fan.
He hates rice.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'll order Chinese and I'll take the box that has the rice in it. I'll set that aside and I just eat the good stuff. Because it's literally just filler.
But you like this one.
But some things you kind of put a teeny little bit of rice on to put the good stuff on top of, and so I took just a little bit of that as garlic rice, and I tell you what, the garlic rice was really good. So someone knew what they were doing. The sauce, I know this was some sort of it was tandoori chicken is what it was, and the chicken was a little bit dry, like overcooked. Maybe it was just sitting there for a little bit longer than it probably should have. I don't know. But the sauce was good, the rice was good, and I'm sure that the chicken, the flavor was okay, but it was just a little tough for me. I also had corned beef hash. I like corned beef hash quite a bit. Super disappointed in that, however. I've not had it since. And to be completely honest, it had a sour, almost like it was bad. I was kind of afraid to eat it. So I've seen it out there every day since then, but I've resisted the temptation to try it again. Instead, I've opted each day to get my omelet, get a couple of sausage links. They're not really links, so they're bigger sausages, nice and tasty. And then I will go over and get my smoked fish, which is smoked salmon on this ship. That's the only smoked fish they have. They also do have a little bit of pickled herring. So I will eat them, and I will have 2 mimosas, which means I have 3 mimosas.
They have a station. It's the international station, but they have I've had for the last couple of mornings. They have a frittata. It for those who don't know what it is, it's like an egg pie, and it's with green onion and cheese. It's very good. So I would always get a wedge of frittata, and then I would get some sausage links like you, and they do have a bread station where you can get bagels and sliced bread, toasted and whatnot, but I've opted for their little rolls. I love their rolls, and I'll have that, and then I'll have some fruit, and they do have a huge fruit station. They have they have the nighttime oats, the overnight oats, that's it, overnight oats. They have Greek yogurt. They've got congee, and they also have pancakes, and they also have French toast. It's a very big area, and so they have a variety. They do have like things for everyone to have for breakfast, and you can get your coffee that they'll come by. They'll come by and take your drink order if you want. I believe you can even get like a latte and stuff like that. They'll go get that and bring it over. They have that coffee station that they'll make, because I saw somebody get that one today. So
now this particular ship too, there's a fairly heavy influence of Indian cuisine. So if you like Indian cuisine,
yeah, the executive chef is from India.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's been very flavorful. The food has been very flavorful.
Had beef curry today for lunch, and it was really, really good.
We'll go into that.
Oh, am I getting off topic?
You're getting off topic, my dear.
Continue.
After we ate lunch, at breakfast, we went into the theater. No, it's not the theater. It's what's the name? Anyway, we went into one of the venues, and we had our class. We had like 4 hours, and then we broke for lunch. And this was the first time that we went to the main dining room for lunch.
This Celebrity Central, just in case.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the name of the venue. We were quite impressed with lunch, and you could see Rich took them. I'll put the menu in that you could see.
Oh, I thought it'd be straight up American junk foodie, and I had mozzarella sticks.
Were they good? I didn't even ask you that.
Well, there was only 2 of them for one. The cheese was kind of good. One of them was all smushy. Still tasted good, but it was like not properly formed. And yeah, they were a little bit breadier than I care for, but other than that, the consistency was good. The cheese was good. The flavor was good. Not quite enough of the marinara, because I like lots of marinara. Mm-hmm. And they give you like a thimble of marinara, but
you could have asked for more. They would have brought it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to bother them. I just tried to stretch it, and I succeeded in it. But the experience would have been slightly more enjoyable if I didn't have to ration my tomato sauce.
And I had a salad, and it was like 2 pieces of Bibb lettuce with some greens, and then green beans, pepper, black olives, and tomato, and it had a balsamic vinaigrette dressing. It was very good. It was just standard salad. Good starter. Good way to start. And then for your main, you had.
Now this was quite impressive. There was a teriyaki duck, and there are other things that I was like hankering for a cheeseburger. But when I says, when you can get duck, you get duck. And I was not disappointed.
That was a lot of duck on the plate for lunch.
That was almost like a dinner portion.
Yeah.
There's something underneath it too.
They had bok choy, looks like.
Yeah, there's.
And what was underneath it?
Well, there's the gravy, and there's a mashed potato type of thing underneath.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah, it was really good. It was a little bit too much, probably.
Yeah.
This is more like almost more like a dinner portion, and we had dinner to go to later on, so.
We thought we had dinner. I had
more on that later.
I had the turkey medallion with some sliced fennel on top, and then broccoli rabe, and there were mashed potatoes underneath it. It was a perfect portion for lunch. It wasn't overly big. It was, the turkey was very moist. It had like a flour, like they dipped it in flour and then they fried it. They pan-seared it. It was very good, and it was, I was joking with Rich saying, well, that wasn't really smart. I just had turkey for lunch. The tryptophan, I'm going to be really awake for the second half of...
So I suggested we want to get some coffee really quick.
But then we ended up... We both had this.
It was supposed to be like a raspberry peach cobbler.
Yeah, cobbler.
But it really wasn't that. It was peach.
There was raspberry and there was peach, right?
Yeah, there There's like peaches like you'd expect in a cobbler. There's like some raspberry-ish juice poured on it, and then it wasn't in a cobbler dough crust. Like I like that part, and a lot of times I don't like the crust on a lot of things like pizza, and but this I do. But they didn't do it that way. They just put the slop in a bowl, and then they poured some ground up granola or something like that on the top. The flavor was okay, but it wasn't peach cobbler.
It was peaches, and there were some raspberries in there, and it was warm. It was warm.
I would liken it to warmed baby food.
And then it had a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. The ice cream was very good. The fruit was it was just very disappointing. It was a crumble that they tried to put in, but it was very oaty, and there was no crust on the bottom. So anyway, it was like a tartless crumble.
Or just a little background there. Hard and crunchy, I don't like. This was very moist, whatever you want to call it. It was slop is the best term that I can give. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It was like peach stuff. Raspberry. Like I said, it was like the consistency of baby food, but it did have like a couple chunks of peach in it. And then to give it texture, they poured this. It was like you took a granola bar and crushed it up and poured it on the top. Is what it was like.
We're gonna move on. It was a very good lunch at the main dining room. We ended up going back to class, and then after class we were ready for cocktails. So we made it to the Martini Bar, and if anybody knows in Celebrity, the Martini Bar is the bar to go to. They do later on in the evening there'll be a performance by the bartenders pouring there. So we each had I had a Cosmo, and you had
I had three of them. I don't remember what they were. One was some version of a lemon drop. One was another kind of a martini. They're all martinis.
It's a really nice bar. It's right off of the piazza, so you get a lot of the entertainment. There's a lot of music that goes on around the ship.
It's noisy. There's a lot of commotion around there. It's active.
It's very active, but it was a nice place to sit and have some cocktails, and they do give you a bowl of pretzel-like snacks to enjoy. And well, here's the menu. I'm going to show the menu so you all can see it. Did you have the banana Foster? Was that one of them? Oh, the toffee.
Toffee.
Yeah, they were. The cocktails here have been really good, depending on where you go, of course. But I mean, we've been served very well and very
I don't think I've had a bad cocktail yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some I like better than others.
What did we do for dinner that night? Go ahead, go on with the story.
All right. We came back to the room. We had Le Petit Chef Cuisine, and we were really looking forward to it. It's like one of the premier specialty dining venues, and it's a really cool show that they do, and the food is supposed to be phenomenal. We had a message that we overbooked, so we need you to either cancel or change your reservation. Here's the thing: as long as we got to do it, we were able to reserve it for the final night, which we didn't have anything booked for. It's the only night we didn't have a booking. And as long as we got to go, then I was kind of okay with it. It just kind of made that night anticlimactic. I was kind of disappointed.
But what did we end up doing?
We went to a show.
No, for dinner.
We went to the
buffet.
The buffet, yeah.
I think we went to the buffet. I can't remember.
We went to the buffet. The buffet has actually been...
Yes.
better than probably most of the buffets. I'm not a big buffet fan, just let me tell you that.
Oh, that's right. I remember because we were concerned that it was going to be crowded like it is in the mornings, but for the evening for that dinner, it was not crowded.
Because everybody else had specialty dining reserved.
Oh God! So a lot of people go to the main dining rooms here for dinner. We just didn't feel like it. We had just gone for lunch. We didn't want to do it for evening, so we ended up going up to the cafe, the Ocean View Cafe, and we were able to sit very quietly, enjoy our dinner. We were able to go up and down with ease and not have to be in any line waiting for long durations to get food. So we ended up having a relatively nice, and we got wine, right? They came and I got the. So anyway, we were able to have some wine and have some dinner, and then we went to a show in the Reflection Theater.
Reflection Theater. Which
And
is really a nice venue. I didn't say that before.
the name of the show was what?
I don't remember exactly what they called it, but it was an Elton John tribute guy. Somebody that was in what was his name? He was in the music industry. He'd actually performed with a lot of people, including Elton John, prior. But he did a really nice job. He called himself almost Elton John.
Yeah, almost Elton John. And boy, did we have fun. It was really a fun night. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, and the whole theater was up and dancing at some points. And we're gonna put a little bit in so you can see just some snippets because we don't want copyright strikes.
Theater was really full, and people were singing along. People knew the words. Some people didn't know the words, as he'll tell you, but people were even using their phones and waving them like the lights and all that. It was similar to a concert.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a concert performance, a grand piano, and it was a good show. One of the better shows like that I've seen.
With a live band. And the house band's not bad.
Yeah, the house band was good.
So it was really a fun night. It was a great way to end the night. So that was a fun. We had a long day of classes and fun there, and then we had some good food. A little disappointment, but that's okay. We step it aside. That's what cruising is, right? Remember, we have to bring our sense of humor to cruising.
Yeah, stuff happens.
And anyway, we're out at sea, and somebody else is doing the dishes. It's great.
At the end of the day, you're on a ship.
There are some tips to give you. We bought the 3 specialty dining package, right? Yep. And one of the things to understand about the 3 specialty dining is with Celebrity, you cannot make those reservations until you get on board. So it's a little crazy, especially it makes embarkation day a little bit crazy because you can't do it on the app until you get here on ship. So Rich had to run to try to find these locations. And did they want you to go to each individual restaurant, or? Well,
that's what it had said. But when I went to one location, he booked all 3 of them for me at one.
So the key is when you get on board, go find your specialty restaurant, and someone will help you book the other 2 nights for you if you're doing a 3.
Well,
the
the guy at any one of the specialty restaurants will book all of them for you. He can look and see what's available, what's supposed to be available, and he'll tell you the times, blah blah blah. And
their packages was 3, or there was a 5 or 6. I can't remember. There was one that had larger, more. But with us being here only,
I thought there was
5 nights. I
thought there was a lower one, like you get one or 2.
You can get 1 or 2, yeah. But there was another bigger package, but it didn't make sense because we weren't here that many nights.
Getting the 3, it made the cost of each of them a little bit less. So, like buying a bundle, you get a little bit of a break on each one. But you do need to move fairly quickly once you embark to get to one of the specialty restaurants and get those booked right away to make sure that you get the ones that you really want.
Life on board, celebrity reflection.
I think it's been good, all in all. We've had experiences with quite a few different lines, quite a few different ships. This is a nice ship. It's a nice size ship, 3,200 guests. Crew is about 1,200, so we're getting up there close to 3-to-1, about 2.8-to-1, something like that.
You do feel it in some areas, though.
The ratio is a little worse than it is on some others that are in this similar size, but there's also some that are a little bit worse than this. They utilize people pretty well, but some of those folks are really busy because some are pulling probably double duties. I don't know exactly how their rotation works. I've noticed things like this is the first time we haven't had like a dedicated cabin steward that was very available and that they have a second and you see them every day. From what I've seen anyways, observed, it appears that you have one and they cover a lot of rooms, and
Yes.
they're stretched more thinly in this area than in some of the others. Restaurant staff, they seem to be pretty good. Bar staff, they seem to be pretty good. Throughout the ship, general maintenance and cleaning, you see them out at work. They do a good job. You got the gal up at the cafe buffet giving you a squirt of hand sanitizer as you walk in, which, let's just, tiny little side note, I know this is off topic, but a lot of them, they have the big old hand washing station when you come in and suggest that you wash your hands, and you'll see probably 2/3 of the people just right past it. You don't see like the hand wash stations entering in, but they do have somebody with this little bottle of hand sanitizer really trying to make sure everybody gets a squirt of hand sanitizer as they enter. And I think that's a little bit more efficient, it's a little bit faster, and probably more effective than the other way. Anyways, that's just I think that is a good use of personnel at those times.
There is more personnel in the eating areas and in the bars. In the eating areas, definitely. There's servers that clear the tables in the Ocean View Cafe. There's servers that'll bring you something to drink. In the morning, there was a lady with a cart with coffee and tea, and she was going around refilling everybody. So there's proper use of personnel in those areas. In the main dining room, there's a lot of personnel, and they're trying. Celebrity has the early dining, late dining, in the traditional manner of the main dining room, and then they have upstairs is anytime dining. Personally, I think him and I are going to be making sure that if we come again, it'll be on the anytime dining.
We are, because of the group we're in, it was selected and reserved for a particular time every day for us, so we didn't really have a choice in that, but I'm more of an anytime person.
Yeah, I like the ability to come and go as I want. If I'm hungry, to go down. If I'm not, we can wait a little bit. So, and then I believe upstairs it's a smaller dining room, and it's a little bit more. We can get a lot of two tops and whatnot.
A little more intimate. We had there for lunch. The one day we had lunch in the MDR. It was nicer. It was quieter. It was a better experience.
Still tight. I'm sorry, but it was still tight. I mean, like, we had people next to us, and it was even less than an arm's length, the table next to us. So it's not as spacious as some are, but you still do have the opportunity to be on a table for a two top to have a conversation. I think where they're lacking in staff is the room steward. We've always had a team, and there's now this one poor gentleman that has a lot of cabins to do.
And he's working hard. Don't
he's
get
working
me wrong.
very hard.
I'm not knocking any crew. I never knock any crew. These folks.
No, he's working extremely hard. There was one night that we came back a little bit earlier, and he didn't have enough time to get to our room, and it was fine. We didn't get turned on. So big deal. We were tired. We wanted to go to bed. It didn't matter. And he felt very, very bad. And he, I felt bad for him. He said, "I'm sorry. I got caught up in some other." I was like, "Don't. It's fine. It's fine. We're good." So to me, that just represented that they've taken from stewards and they've added in the food area. And I think there's got to be a happy medium there. I really do think, because the room stewards work harder than I think anybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
And to take a partner away, because it works on all the other cruise lines. You have a team of two. While one is doing one thing, another one is doing another, and the room gets taken care of. You don't put that burden on one person. So to me, that's a knock to Celebrity. Sorry, Celebrity. We're having a great time, and we appreciate being on this ship right now. We appreciate this cruise completely, but I'm going to tell you, your stewards deserve better.
We're gonna call balls and strikes.
Yep.
And again, I'm not disparaging any crew, and I'm not even knocking Celebrity, because they make corporate decisions for reasons, and this is the way they chose to staff and the way they, I'm making a suggestion, but you know what? Sometimes you don't know that there's the law of unintended consequences. If you say, "Hey, we're gonna pull someone off of here to make sure that we do this," then all of a sudden you notice that you're lacking somewhere else. So that it's a corporate decision. That's just something that I noticed that was different. And
well, I'm sorry. I hate seeing people overworked, and to me that the stewards are overworked, and that's not fair. We're back to the MSC model, and that doesn't work with one person being responsible for so many rooms.
You spoke the name of the line we should not mention.
Well, I did. So anyway, but that was a fun day. I mean, that was the end of our day 2. Was a great day 2 for us. Entertainment was spectacular. Food was good, and catch us again. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment below if you've been on Celebrity and you've had a different experience. We want to know that. Please let us know.
You've been on Reflection.
You've been on Reflection. Let us know that, and put on that notification bell. Share it out to some friends, and join us for day 3 of a 6-day cruise on Celebrity Reflection. We're going to talk about Key West tomorrow.
Don't be chicken.
Bye, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us.